Hey guys, Yoda Code 43 here with another tour and drive, sights and sounds of one of my personal cars. This is actually my new daily driver, the replacement for the Honda CR-V you may have seen a couple of weeks ago. And took me some money to get it up and ready and roadworthy and whatnot, but it's pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited for this one. The badge you're seeing here is definitely the giveaway for the car, if you know anything about them. This is my 1992 Ford Taurus SHO. It's a 5-speed manual, V6 twin cam, 3-liter, 24 valve with 220 horsepower. Pretty big numbers for 1992. I think they were quoted for doing 0 to 60 in about 6.5 seconds and doing a quarter mile in 15.1 or 14.9. Pretty big deal by that day, because I think even Mustang GTs, 5-liter Fox body Mustang GTs of that day were around the same times, to 60 and in the quarter mile. The SHO came out in 1989 in the previous generation Taurus body style. Really, this is just kind of the mid-cycle refresh. This restyle came out for 1992, which is the year that this car is. They were a big deal back in their day. The first 4 years they made them, 89, 90, 91, and 92, they only made them with a stick shift. A 5-speed manual transmission made by Mazda, co-developed by Ford. Originally used in a V6 equipped Ford Tempo or Mercury Topaz from the late 80s, and then strengthened a bit to handle all the extra power and torque that this engine makes. The big thing about these engines is that they were, well, as you saw from the badge, they were Yamaha built. It used the same dimensions and basically the same engine block material and shape, mostly, but it was beefed up by Yamaha. The theory was that, the running theory was that they were building the engine, or building the blocks here from Ford still, shipping them over to Japan to be assembled by Yamaha, but that's not the case. Yamaha built the entire engine from scratch. Forged internals, forged and balanced internals, I should say. Pistons, rods, and crankshaft. And apparently Yamaha claimed the engine could easily turn 8,500 safely all day. 8,500 RPM, which is absolutely insane for an engine of this size from this time period in a street car, let alone even in a race car. But Ford had them limit it back to 7,000, although I think the actual fuel cutoff is 7,300, because their accessories would start to fail and go haywire at any engine speeds higher than that. It's still really exciting, but man, would it be super cool if it could actually turn 8,500. They're 16-inch wheels, I think 215, 60, 16 tires, 16 by 6.5 inch wide, I think they are. 5 by 108 bolt pattern, which is weird, but common with Volvos of the time, and then new Focus STs and stuff like that use that nowadays. This is the engine. It's a piece of art. This was really Ford / Mazda / whatever that amalgamation you want to call their first adaptation of intake manifold runner control. So you see there's way more than 6 runners in here. You had the 6 main long ones here in the middle, which were used for your low-end torque and drivability. but there's kind of a magic solenoid kickover at 4,000 RPM triggered right here and right here that opens up these short runners, so it becomes kind of a short ram intake. And from 4,000 to 7,000 RPM, it helps make a lot more top end power. Just a standard throttle body and mass airflow sensor setup. This car has a drop-in K&N air filter in it from God knows how long ago. They must have oiled it recently because I had the airbox apart last night, and holy crap, was it full of filter oil, not engine oil, thank God. I don't think it burns any oil. I don't see that it leaks any. The oil level is excellent. This car has 123,000 miles on it. They normally require a 60,000 mile service interval for the timing belt, spark plugs, and wires. With this car being at 123 and knowing that it has sat for a couple of years between the original owner and me, it's possible it needs a timing belt, but I'm not too worried about it. And the kicker is that despite this being a high-strung 24-valve engine, it's non-interference. So if the timing belt snaps, oh no, the car just stalls. But it can be put back together. Problem is the timing belt is buried down here behind this cover, as far as I know. You got to pull the whole upper intake off. Fun fact about the upper intake too is that it's totally symmetrical in both directions. So you could take it and literally flip it 180 degrees around and it would mount on exactly the same. All the ports line up. The perk of that being this engine has the same bolt pattern as the Vulcan pushrod 3-liter V6, which you could also find in Rangers up until the mid-2000s. And so an SHO swap, you could do an SHO swap in rear-wheel drive Rangers or whatever else could use that 3-liter rear-wheel drive engine. So that's kind of a cool thing. Maybe that's what will happen with this engine someday, because ultimately this car has a fair bit of rust underneath of it. The rockers are pretty much gone. I'll replace them with some sort of sheet metal just to keep the strength back in it. I want it to be a relatively safe car. And there's a little bit going on the front of this shock tower right in this area, but nothing to worry about, nothing structural there. Nice little touch with the SHO on the hood insulation up here. This car came fully loaded. Power windows, power locks, power brakes, power steering, air conditioning, cruise control, and it all works. Every single piece of it. It's awesome. As far as I know, they're all sunroof cars too. I haven't seen one without. Also, you're gonna hear some thunder in the background. There's quite a thunderstorm going on outside. It's raining pretty hard out there. I pretty much pulled in the garage to do this and then it started pouring. Haven't even driven this thing in the rain yet. I know the wipers work, but God knows how good. We'll find out. The tires are admittedly a little bit old. I think they are 13 years old. So we'll find out. If it's really sketchy, I'll just keep it on the surface roads. So interior wise, it's all black leather. I know I have seen the earlier ones with cloth interior as well, or like a mix of cloth and leather. But yeah, this one's all leather, all black, including the headliner is all black. Very happy about that. Nice, cohesive, good-looking interior, though it does get hot, very hot. But I mean, quality of the interior, I mean, I know they didn't originally hold up very well, but this car had to have been cared for. I mean, it's like 9 out of 10 condition in here. A little bit of wear on the steering wheel, a little bit of wear on the bolster just sinking down over the years. But everything on the seats works too. They have power adjustable bolsters that squeeze in and out. Lumbar, then all the movement. It's pretty sweet. Pretty exciting car, that's for sure. And actually, even a pretty sizable rear seat. I can carry my son around here no problem in his rear facing seat. Man, again, those doors, man, This is a car from the 90s. It's a solid sounding door. Big trunk too. Spare tire up underneath, you know, the deal. Yeah, I guess now we'll get it running. Actually, I forgot to mention, it has a Borla catback exhaust on it too. It's basically one pipe into one muffler that splits into two thereafter. It's a cool look with the twin pipes. That doesn't exactly save any weight, but it's the original look of the car, and I appreciate that. I believe they were all fog light equipped cars too. What I learned is that actually the headlights themselves, the outer parts and the corner lights and fenders are all from Sable, Mercury Sable, as is the hood. And then they just changed the bumper out because the Sable would have a light bar that connected all the way across here that connected these two little pieces. But they did something different for the SHO. SHO stands for Super High Output, by the way. Kind of along the same lines as your SVO, Special Vehicles Operations, and SVT is what it became later, your Special Vehicle Teams, which came out with obviously your Mustang Cobra, your Contour SVT, SVT Focus, stuff like that. But yeah, like they got it imprinted into the door, your 24-valve dock badge there. Oh man, the 90s entry pad. I have no idea what the code is, I'll have to look it up. And then this is a nice little touch. The keyholes light up when you stick a key into them, or if you pull the handle before entering the car, so that you can see where your key's supposed to go without scratching up your paint. Nice touch. But here's the old man in this car. It has cornering lamps. They're bright too. They actually put out a lot of light. Useful. All right. So yeah, this is my new daily driver. A Taurus SHO, or SHO, or however which way you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. Modern Ford enthusiasts who have the newer version of the car from the last couple of years call it the SHO. I think Ford also calls it the SHO. And old school enthusiasts of this car call it the SHO. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. I didn't mention earlier, this thing came with a whole stack, like 10 years worth of seasonal magazine issues of the SHO registry. So the guy who originally owned this car must have been a member and, religiously took part in it. He had a hat from an event in Chicago called SHO-Cago, pun fully intended. And then he also had a couple of extra books called the Goody Books, Volume 1 and Volume 2, which kind of cover the first couple of years of these cars, the ones that had this engine in it. And they cover all sorts of tips and tricks, things to look out for when buying one, quirks that you have to deal with when you own one, stuff like that. And I well-educated myself after I got in the car, so I understood what I was up against. I think this is going to be a great car. I'm keeping this one for a year. It'll be the longest I've kept a car that I bought in a while, but I got to do it. And I'd rather do it in an exciting car like this as opposed to some mundane SUV or family sedan with an automatic and a unexciting engine, 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, whatever the heck it is, Boy, oh boy, it is wet out here. Mentioning the thunderstorm earlier, I'm driving home in it, and these old tires, while they have some tread on them, they don't have a ton, and they're pretty hard. So, getting a lot of, hydroplane back and forth, so. But it's okay. No danger here. I got 2 hands on the wheel. But, this thing cruises great. When it wasn't raining today, I must have put 200 miles on this car. Just driving around, getting a feel for it, feeling out the transmission, learning what the car liked and didn't like, stuff like that. It's going to be great. It's reasonable fuel economy. My first tank was 20.5 to the gallon, and that included most of the drive home from where I picked the car up, and then fooling around. So it probably wasn't all that great. Hopefully this next tank will be a little bit better. But yeah, it's a high-strung engine. I can deal with it. It's premium gas too. Not a big deal. I'm gonna take care of it, so it'll take care of me. That's how it goes with my cars. So anyway, if you guys like what you saw, please give me a big thumbs up on the video. Give me some comments of constructive criticisms, what you liked, what you didn't like, stuff like that. And subscribe to my channel too. There's always going to be more stuff coming. Well, I've always got a couple more cars to cover. I'm going to be doing more and more reviews of friends' cars since I'm running out of my own vehicles to show you guys. But yeah, hoping you stay tuned for more. And I'm going to sign off for the night.